Hello, it is Wednesday, December 13th. As I'm recording this, the title of this episode is called Dipping My Neuropathic Toes into the World of Subscription for Authors. And today will be all about setting up my Ream page for my subscribers. I am planning to do a soft launch in January. I was thinking December, but I just have too much on my plate. And even though it's a soft launch, I still want things to be ready. Like I want welcome emails to be ready. I have a lot of things that I still need to do in the back end for it to be what I want it to be. And I'm talking about my neuropathic toes because it's true. My toes are neuropathic. It's not a play on words about my feelings about starting a subscription. I'm actually very excited about that and trying to manage my own expectations about how I would like it to go while still dreaming and shooting for the stars, because this is what I do. I daydream. I always believe that my books and my projects will find their perfect audiences. And I do feel like some of this, and here I'm talking about my neuropathy, is linked to my desire to have a community of readers who are deeply invested in my characters, because this is what I do again. I write characters, and I hope that readers will fall in love with, empathize, root for. Those are the characters that I'm writing. And the neuropathy in that case is because for a while I was not on social media. I was not connecting as much as I wanted necessarily to connect with readers because at a certain time I couldn't. And I feel like having a subscription like that might help me keep a deeper connection with readers. Writing can be lonely, and I think sometimes that a community like that can really help. And again, since I'm not as much on social media, I think that Ream and a subscription could be a great solution. In this post, again, I'm going to talk about how I'm setting up my page. If you have any questions, don't hesitate. I also started a Substack, so if you would like to hop on my Substack, which is elodinovodatsky.substack.com, don't hesitate and become a subscriber, and you will see an edited transcript of this podcast episode, and you will also be able to see the visual, like my tier images I'm posting on the Substack. And I'm going to share with you the welcome email for one of the tiers, but you'll be able to read it if that's something you're interested in. Before I start with all of that, here are the ups and downs of my self-publishing career in the past 2 weeks. Up. I sold 1 copy of Most Eligible Scrooge on Google Play. And 1 copy, you might be like, what? It's nothing. But you see, Google Play, while it's great for my books in French and Portuguese, it hasn't been the best e-retailer for me for my books in English. And for my steamy rom-coms, it definitely has not been an easy retailer to break into. So selling 1 book, like 1 copy of Most Eligible Scrooge on Google Play, I was very excited about, and I still am. Down. Despite being a handpicked top indie favorite on Barnes & Noble, my sales have dwindled into not like, I still sold 1 copy yesterday, so it's not like I'm not selling anything, but they have indeed dwindled a little compared to what it was before. Up. I was tagged on social media by several posts of people who are really loving Julie and Landon. Down. I was also tagged by some people who really hated the cliffhanger at the end of Once Upon a Christmas Eve, which is totally their right, and it's totally fine. I just didn't know how to respond or if I should respond, because the post was not bad or anything, but it's easier to respond when you're tagged on like a post where somebody loved or mentioned they've read your books and stuff like that. But otherwise I didn't read, so I actually did not respond. And by the time I wanted to respond, the post, like it was a story, it's no longer there. So if you're listening to this and you're the one who actually, I'm so sorry I didn't respond. Yeah. Up. I got 2 newsletter subscribers last week from the end of the book of Once Upon a Christmas Eve. Up. There seems to be a good read-through from Most Eligible Scrooge to The Leftover Bride, as I sold several copies last week on all platforms, except Google Play, because again, Google Play in English for me isn't my top e-retailer. I'll be doing more of a recap of the 2 weeks at the end of the post, but for now, let's go back to setting up my Ream page. So when you're doing a subscription, you need to decide on tiers. The podcast subscription for authors suggests doing only one perk and one tier to start with, because it's easier to know what's working and what doesn't work if you only have one perk per tier. Like if nobody subscribes, then you know that whatever you're offering, that one perk you're offering for your tier isn't what readers want to have. But doing only one tier for me would be pretty complicated because I'm launching 3 different worlds in that one page. So I have 5 tiers. I know maths really don't work here. I have 3 worlds. I'm launching 5 tiers. But let me tell you, I'm planning to have the following tiers with early access content, chapters, and bonus scenes. So the first tier will be Swans Cove and Sandwich Bay residents for my steamy small town rom-coms, 2 to 4 early chapters or bonus content per month. Gavert City and Holler Bay residents for my small town romantic thrillers, 2 to 4 early chapters or bonus content per month. School of Performing Arts students for my YA new adult angsty ballet romance, 1 to 2 early chapters or bonus content per month. Gossip Insiders, the content of all 3 worlds. Social Comedy Insider, the content of those 3 worlds, plus a postcard or a letter from their favorite world, so from a character from that world, once a month. My current tier prices are, or will be, $5 for small town rom-coms resident, $5 for small town romantic thrillers residents, $3 for School of Performing Arts students, $10 for Gossip Insider, and $20 for Social Comedy Insider. The Social Comedy Insider will be limited to 5 members because I want to make sure it is as individualized as possible, and I'm going to be writing those letters. And let's say they all choose, like there are 5, and the 3 different words are chosen in those 5, then I will need to write at least 3 different letters. And yes, I could change it up, but I don't want it to be exactly the same letters, even if they choose the same world. So, I want it to be a special experience for those readers who are joining this particular tier. Again, on the Substack, I'll be sharing, or I have shared the images for my tiers, so feel free to head over there and check them out. I'm also planning to send a heart leather bookmark and a welcome to whatever world they chose letter or postcard to each tier, even if it's not the Social Comedy Insider, because that particular letter will be from me, not one of the characters. So I still want to interact with my readers as me, but the ones who choose the $20, they will be interacting more with a character from my world. And I know this will probably be at a loss for me in the first month, because let's say if somebody joins the $5 tier, like the Steamy Rom-Coms tier, and I send them a heart leather bookmark and a letter, well, I spent more than $5 on that. And if they don't stay longer than a month, then it's at a loss. But I'm okay with that. I've pivoted to using more of my marketing budget for my existing readers, and I'm really enjoying being able to give more to my readers in a way, that way. So I'm okay too if after a month they decide, well, okay, I can't, or I don't want to stay, or whatever reason they decide. I'm not saying it's going to be easy for me all the time. Will probably not. I will try not to check who leaves my subscriptions, but I also need to know how much I'm making per month so I can plan for different things. So it will be a balance to strike. This entire sending things also got inspired by Christopher Hopper, who has an episode, I think, on the subscription for authors about, he sends, I think, pictures of himself too when he sends a welcome postcard to members. I might not do that, but I do want to send them the heart leather bookmark and a welcome to whatever world they're choosing. And yeah, things that I'm doing in the back end before the soft launch. So I'm welcoming all followers with an email asking them if they'd like to receive a postcard. That postcard is from me, the author, even though the postcard I'm sending might be, for example, for my Steamy Rom-Coms, it actually says welcome to Swans Cove. And I'll share the postcard in the Substack too, so you can see it. Once I have the paid tier launched, this is an example of an email that will be sent. So this one is for the School of Performing Arts student. Hi there, it's Em. Welcome to the School of Performing Arts. Note to self, send the welcome letter and surprise within a week unless it's the holidays. It might take a bit longer. While baking is my passion, I've come to realize that I deeply miss dancing. It's still such an important part of me. This realization struck me during a challenging holiday season. Nick was away in Paris, school was tough, my dad was about to marry one of my former friends, I know, and I miss Nonna terribly. Thankfully, her diary and a note she left me brought some unexpected insights. But I won't spill all the beans, just yet. I invite you to start reading A New Year's Eve like no other as it unfolds here. And don't hesitate to leave comments. Elodie loves them and loves replying to them. Okay, I have to go. Nick and I are dancing later today, together. And let me tell you, I can't wait to feel the music in my veins as my heart beats in harmony with this. Plus, there's just something about the way he moves that I'm pretty sure comes with an Emilia setting that melts all of me in the best possible way. Thank you so much for loving our stories. There are definitely more coming very soon. M. P.S. If you'd like to know how to use the Ream e-reader app, click here. And if you have any technical support questions, don't hesitate to contact the Ream team. They're fantastic. So fantastic, in fact, that I'd bake them all my Nonna's cannoli recipe. So see, I did that email from M's perspective, and that's what I'm going to do for each welcome email. It will be from a perspective of one of the main characters of the world that the readers will subscribe to. And again, all paid members, although even those on a free trial, if they have one, will receive a hard bookmark and a letter from a character from the world they subscribe to. So not the followers, but the member. The followers get an email from me and a postcard, and paid members will receive a hard bookmark and a letter. I also have community posts, which are currently available for followers. The other day, I gifted a Starbucks card to my followers just because it made me very happy to be able to do that. This is an example of a community post. What if Nick and Em, Dimi and Erin, Alessandro and Aisling were all in Swanscove at the same time? And then I wrote a few paragraphs from Nick's perspective. So full disclosure, sometimes no one likes or comments on my community posts, and I had polls where no one voted in. And part of me thinks it's because they received the email sometimes in their inbox, but voting would have required more clicks. And sometimes also they don't have the time. I mean, it's the holiday season, everyone is very busy. They're already following me, so I'm already grateful. I will be scheduling chapters to be released on the 15th and the 30th, and this will be my schedule each month, starting on the 30th since I released content on the 13th this month. I also have created a Ream group in my newsletter for the amazing readers who are now following my Ream page, as I want to avoid sending them more than one email per week. So I use MailerLite, so I created that Ream group. I added the emails into it, and now I make sure to exclude that group. If I send it on Friday and I publish something on Friday, then I might send it on Sunday or Monday to them. Like, I'm going to wait a couple of days. So maybe it might still be the same week in a way, but not the same day. Like, I'm trying to not be in their inbox several times per day, unless they are followers right now and they receive updates that I updated stories that they will get 2 emails for. But so do you have any questions about my subscription or my tier? Don't hesitate to ask. You can leave me a voicemail. You can leave me a comment on my Substack, and I will try my very best to respond. Next time I will be talking about what I'm currently doing to try to get followers, and also to maybe encourage followers to become members once I have done my soft launch, because right now, again, I haven't launched the paid tiers. And here's a weekly recap. So my newsletter subject line of the week was Itsy Bitsy, that was the subject line. And then the pre-header was Spider. What did you think I was going to say? I did a split test on the subject line and this one won. I did have a story to tell about spiders. If you'd like to read my full email and how I incorporated the story and my books into it, there's a link on the Substack. There's also a link in this episode's description. And then full disclosure here, because I am actually genuinely interested in my readers' answers. I asked them what would be the 3 words that come to mind when they think about spiders. And none of that email felt forced when I was writing it. It was actually fun. It was a fun email to write. And I had that story in my mind after it had happened. Full disclosure, another one, it was a spider on my ankle in the shower. Not my best moment. I do not recommend. Classes, webinars that I took this week, or that I'm currently taking or about to take. InkersCon 2022, I took advantage of the Black Friday deal and registered for InkersCon 2022, and I have been listening to the classes on craft and business so far. Brian Cohen's 3-step to optimize your KDP keywords to sell more books, and I'm about to take a registered for Erin Wright's Print 201 class. One of my goals for next year is to make large print books and find ways to have those books in libraries, so I'm very much looking forward to that class. Some podcast Zoom episodes on self-publishing that I've listened to in the past 2 weeks. Should you start a subscription? By Subscription for Authors podcast. And in addition to the Zoom I was mentioning earlier, the classes, I also listened to several Zoom meetups from Becca Syme's Write Better Faster Patreon. I was behind on the November ones, so I've been listening to the November ones right now. Substack articles I read this week on writing, publishing, and self-publishing. What does it mean to be successful? Footnotes for My Imaginary Friends, which is by Leslie Penelope. You can listen to her podcast or you can read her Substack. And her post, she always has a knack for writing posts that I need to read. And she did it again. So thank you, Leslie, because I'm asking that question a lot too. What does it mean to be successful? Then there were 2 posts by Suzanne Dennard in Misfits and Daydreamers, what happened when I got off social media, and author self-promo on social media, because that's a topic that's also been on my mind. And then from the desk of Erin Bauman, 2023 retrospective. So again, all those links are in my Substack. My Substack link is in the episode description. And one more thing I wanted to tell you. If you like audiobooks and you like YA, contemporary romance, brother's best friend, angsty, my audiobook, A Summer Like No Other, is actually for free on all e-retailers. And I just uploaded the full audiobook to YouTube. So yeah, you can also listen to it over there. I will add the link to the episode description. And again, if you have any questions, don't hesitate. I will be looking forward to answering them. And I am looking forward to keep on updating you on my Ream experience and sharing with you the ups and downs of self-publishing. To all readers out there, happy writing. No, to all writers out there, happy writing. And to everyone, happy reading.